gonna move on because we got two shows. We got two shows worth of predictions. All right. This weekend we have NXT No Mercy on September 30th. We have AEW Wrestle Dream on October 1st. Both shows are gonna come with spaces, 316 spaces. So if you're on Twitter and you want to watch with the gang, be sure to tap in on our Twitter 15 minutes before bell time. But we're going to get right into these predictions. We're going to start with NXT No Mercy. This is going to be a stacked card, a lot of good matches. But let's start from not the bottom of the card, but let's start with a non-title match. We're going to go Braun Breaker versus Baron Corbin. Who do we have in this match?
I have Braun Breaker simply due to the reason I'm waiting for him to get called up to the main roster.
Mm.
I think he is way overdue for that, and I think bum ass boring Baron Corbin is boring. So there you go.
Xavier, who do you have?
Breaker, Braun Breaker as well. Um, I think they need to change his name before they move him up to the main roster. I don't like it, but I think the main roster spot.
I like Braun's name. At first, I didn't like it, but it grew on me. But I'm gonna
Yeah,
go with Braun. I'm gonna go with Braun Breaker on this one. I think, like y'all said, he's long overdue for a main roster push, and I feel like the character work he's done in NXT is great.
mhm.
Because right when we thought he was gonna go up, he turned heel, and he's been doing some great stuff as a heel, just like he's been doing as a face. So much love to him. We're going to keep going with these matches, though. Next, we're going to do the NXT North American Championship. Dominic Mysterio versus Trick Williams, with the special guest referee being Dragon Lee. Who do we got?
I got Dominic just for the sake that Dragon Lee got to get his lick back. so, so I want him to retain just so he could get his lick back. But if I had to choose, I would go with Trick. But
Whoop that trick.
Mm,
My heart is telling me trick, but my head is telling me Dominic is still going to retain.
mm. You know what? I think Trick Williams is going to pull this off. I
I
think
hope so.
I think Trick is gonna pull it off. I think obviously this was, by the way, to give context, the match originally was for Mustafa Ali to face Dominic Mysterio. Obviously, he was released, therefore he will not no longer be in the match. Um, however, I do think that I do think that Trick, because of his like not random ascent, but because of he has generated so much momentum so quickly that it's generated enough like momentum for himself. So I feel like we're going to see Trick Williams get that NXT North American Championship. So that's my prediction for that match. But on to the next match we have for the NXT, and this is going to be a match of the night. Mark my words. NXT Heritage Cup Championship match. We have Noam Dar versus Butch. I'm calling him Pete Dunne still, but they're calling him Butch. So who do we have? Who do we have for this Heritage Cup Championship match?
I got Pete
Well,
Dunne.
first off, I want to say kind of the metaphor is kind of growing on me.
Same.
Uh, Specifically, uh, uh, Jakora Jackson. Yeah. But besides all that, I want to say Butch to win it because I think we're gonna get the old Pete Dunne in that match on I think it's Saturday, right?
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday. But I think I see Noam Dar retaining the Heritage Cup.
Mm.
I got Bush.
You got Pete. You got Butch.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Noam Dar. I'm gonna go with Noam Dar on this one, just because I feel like he's really starting to strike something with metaphor, as you guys
Yeah.
had said, and on top of that, he's like lost this a bunch of times. So it's like I think he can't afford to lose, but I do have Noam Dar winning this. He has way too many assets in his arsenal between his in-ring work as well as three other people ringside. So, moving on to the next match, we have the NXT Tag Team Championship match. We have a fatal four-way: Tony D'Angelo and Stacks versus Out the Mud versus the Creed Brothers versus Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. Who do we have in this match?
I have the champions retaining. Not gonna lie, I don't really know too much about this match. I only know about the Creed brothers and champs. But you have the champions retain, and also think that the Creed brothers, just like Braun Breaker, are long overdue to get called, especially for that tag team division.
Mm.
Um, I love how they did this build up to this match. Actually, I watched NXT the other day, and I like how they were all sitting, just chatting, and they all came in and asked for a shot, basically. Um, but I got the champions retaining. If I would have to go, if I would have to go with somebody different, I would have to go with Angel Garza and Humberto.
I'm gonna have to go with both of y'all. I see the champions retaining. Like X said, I love the build up for this match. The seats at the table was really, really creative and different. And that's a testament to NXT Creative. Shout outs to Shawn Michaels. But I do see the champions retaining. Fortunately, because there's two other teams in this match where that won't eat the pin. You can still generate the perception of, well, you didn't beat us. So it keeps other teams looking strong. So I like that. But yeah, I got the champs walking out as the champs. Now the next match, the NXT Women's Championship is on the line in an Extreme Rules match. Becky Lynch versus Tiffany Stratton. Who do we have?
This match may be a sneaky match of the night, though. I'm not gonna lie. Especially with being Extreme Rules, no telling what
Mm-hmm.
they'll do in that match. But I still have Becky retaining. They just put the title on her, so I don't see a reason why they take it off her yet. And I think Tiffany Stratton, she's doing a good job too
Mm.
on NXT as well. So, but other than that, I have Becky retaining.
I think Becky's retaining just for the simple fact that she promised Tegan Knox a title shot after she beats Tiffany Stratton, so I think they're gonna continue that story.
I'm gonna go with Becky. I can see Becky retaining. When Becky first got the belt, Mo and I was going at it because Mo was just like, she shouldn't be the champion, she shouldn't have the belt, da 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 da
Yeah.
da. But we already see this reign paying dividends. It's on the biggest platform it's ever been on. I don't think the NXT Women's Championship has had this much exposure in ever, to be honest. It hasn't had this much exposure. She's crossing paths with a lot of people and she's giving out new opportunities. Most notably, Tegan Knox is apparently the next challenger in line. And I feel like because of the way that the other brands and programs are set up, that's a talent that would not have had the opportunity for the other two brands and the other two championships. So the fact that we see Tiffany Stratton getting her main roster reps in, the fact that we see Tegan Knox being elevated and put in a story already that elevates who she is because she's getting that nod and that rub from Becky. Um, this the whole thing is paying dividends, and I'm really, really excited about it. And for the last match of the night, NXT Championship match, Carmelo Hayes versus Ilya Dragunov. Who do we have?
I gotta go with the boy Mello because Mello don't miss.
Melo don't miss.
Mello don't miss.
And it's their third match, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Man, this is tough. I have to. I'm gonna have to go with Mello, just cause he don't miss. But and I think if Trick wins the North American title, they could continue that story and maybe do a unification down the line. So
Uh, Also too, I want to ask, do you guys think that Brian Pillman Jr. will make an appearance tonight? I mean, at that show at that show? I think so.
Possibly,
Yeah.
possibly.
possibly. Anything's
I guess.
possible. I don't know how he would make that appearance. Maybe during the North American Championship match. I feel like putting him in that picture
Um,
would be great for him. But I
or,
don't know.
or or like they can just do how they usually always do with NXT's new signings, just have them in the crowd and just like show them and stuff like that. You can do that too.
That'd be tough. I would like to see
Yeah.
that. I would like to see that for sure.
Do you think Jade is going to NXT or she's going to main roster?
Uh, I think Jay will probably do a little bit of both, considering that Becky will still be NXT Women's Champion by then, probably. That's how I think it will lead to Jay's debut. It can either be her winning the Breakouts tournament or her just challenging Becky Lynch, just like how Kevin Owens did on his Raw debut when he did with John Cena. I think you could go that way.
And he did it with Sami Zayn as well. So
Yeah. I think
because I think if they do show somebody, it's gonna be Jade in NXT. I
I
mean,
can see them. I can see both of them making appearances, but Jade more so than anyone. But to
Yeah.
answer to answer the prediction question, though, I'm gonna say Dragunov. I feel like
Oh wow.
I feel like considering that Melo has already taken the last two matches, unless they want Dragunov to go to the main roster immediately after this, I feel like it's his time to have a championship reign, at least as NXT champion. So I'm gonna go with Dragunov on that one.
Yeah, I agree because he's been losing a lot of championship matches lately.
Yeah,
And
a
it's like,
lot.
how many times can he lose?
Taking
and he
these.
already lost
But
twice.
I
So
I want I want to know how everybody else feels about the NXT No Mercy predictions. But we're gonna be moving on